Stell, he's gone. How are you feeling?
Why do I get all these negative introductions? What's that about?
It's a bit of playful banter, Sal.
Because he had to spend so long with you last night.
Listen, your brother, right? Your brother, he predicted a 2-1 loss. I predicted a draw. I was the positive one.
I predicted a draw as well.
I was the positive one last night, but he was right though. We did lose 2-1.
Wait, so Stel, did you expect waking up this morning you would hear that news? Did it take you by surprise?
Yeah. I thought that we spoke about it in the studio. I thought the last minute equaliser by Man United gave Frank the get out of jail to not be sacked. But then I was thinking about this on the way home. When Ben called in, he said that in the stadium, it's the first time he felt fans around him, the realisation that we actually could go down. It's not a conversation, it's a reality.
Yeah.
And I think maybe what's happened is that realisation, it was also felt in the boardroom. And they must have felt the mood and thought, do you know what, this is real. They know we've got Arsenal next. They know it's basically 90% chance we're going to lose another 3 points. So they probably felt that and thought, you know what, if we don't do it now, when are we going to do it? When we're 2 points behind? When we're equal? You know?
Yeah.
So, but I was surprised, guys, because I thought that they didn't sack him after the Arsenal game when we got ripped to pieces with those awful tactics. They didn't sack him after West Ham, which I thought was the non-negotiable. You must win that. So they've gone this far. I just assume that's it. They're going to stick with him to the end and pray to God we don't get relegated. So I was surprised actually.
Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it? And what do you reckon the plan is now? Have they sacked him with an actual plan, or have they sacked him with anyone in mind? Like, is there a plan here? Or are we just winging it?
We have a 30-point plan now for the.
Are we winging it? Like, what do we do?
A plan. What? Like sorry, just give me a second. Plan. What you mean, like the plan to sack Ange and go for a 25-point checklist criteria, algorithm data-driven.
Like whatever you want to say,
that
it might not be a good plan, but it was a plan. You know, when we sacked Nuno and brought in Conte, that was a plan. When we sacked Poch and brought in Mourinho, that was a plan. So do we have a plan?
No. There's no plan. They make it up as they go along. What they've done is they've proven they're no different to when Levy was here. They feed off of the fan emotion. When they sense the fans have completely gone, they react. People said that Conor Gallagher came in because he's a Poch signing, but then we signed Hertzinger, which means that Arnie Slot's going to come in. But wait, we've just signed another coach, part of Frank's team, which means they're gearing up to keep Frank. There's no plan. We sit here guessing and trying to connect the dots. You can't connect the dots because they're so muddled. They don't connect.
They don't exist. There's no dots. There's no dots. That's why.
There's no dots. Like Andres, who called in yesterday, what he said. The bar's so low and we've tripped over it.
The bar's on the floor. That was one of the best quotes.
That's it. The
bar's on the floor, we've fallen over it.
There's no plan. They don't know what they're doing. Listen, there's no plan for the transfer window in the summer. That video Lounge put out was absolute nonsense. I've never seen...
You're joking. They started planning for it weeks ago, Stel.
Yeah. Do you know what this sacking does prove to me, though? It proves they didn't back Frank in January because they didn't believe that he was 100% going to be their manager next season, and they didn't want to chuck a ton of money at him knowing that he might not be here next season. That's evident to me. All this 100% I'm convinced I'm going to be here. I had really good meetings with Lange and Vinay. I've got the full backing of the owners. I've never felt like the owners aren't going to back me. All of that has now proven to be lies. All of it, lies. So that's why I don't think they backed him in January, because clearly all of this was lies, and they didn't want to go and spend £100 million on a manager that they never felt would 100% be here in the summer. So I think that's the reality of what happened in the January window. They didn't back him because they didn't believe in him.
Yeah, it has obviously cost us massively. But just sticking on Frank for a moment, now he's gone. When you look back at his tenure, what do you think's the one thing for you that sticks out as his main failure? Why he failed at this club? Why it just didn't work with him specifically? What would you say was the main reason Frank failed at this football club?
I know this is going to sound contradictory, but I believe that his honesty was his negativity. The most negative thing about him was his honesty. Just saying, look, guys, we're going to lose games this year. We're only going to win 12. I think he was being really honest. I think he meant what he said, but his honesty is such a negativity to share. Being this pragmatic coach because he doesn't believe in his attack, his capabilities to have an attacking team. The way he set us up, he was being true to who he is. He was being honest to himself, but his honesty is negative because the football is so awful to watch. I think what held him back is he wasn't the adaptable coach people make him out to be. He wasn't able to go into a possession-based system. He wasn't able to play transitional football that was one touch. He wasn't able to dominate games. He wasn't able to pivot between 3 or 4 different formations. This whole notion that he's a tactical professor of the game, for me, it just wasn't true. It was a fallacy. And I think him being honest about what was going on and what he thought, and your honesty is actually quite a negative method. It's quite a negative way of being with the players. And I just felt that just sometimes, guys, you got to tell a little white lie and tell players they're better than what they are. Look at the way he treated Tell, for example. That's a negative thing to do. Right, I'm going to tell the media that you're a really good player that can play anywhere in the front 3, which is what Frank said when he first came, but then I'm going to drop you from my Europa Cup squad because that's how good I think you are after I've told the world you're really good. And then when I'm in the shit, I'm going to bring you back into the Europa Cup squad, but as soon as I get the chance to kick you out of it, I'm going to do that again. That is such a negative way of operating with your players. So I just think, but he was being honest because he didn't want Tell in the squad, which is why I dropped him. And he only brought him back in because he was desperate. Frank's behaviour is honest and true to himself, but it has negative consequences because of what he's actually doing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I think he's honest. I understand what you're saying, but it's not he was honest about his own mentality, but that was exposed him as a. I think within the first press conference, he was exposed for the wrong mentality. Literally from day one, you could see it. The only thing he could guarantee with absolute certainty is we'll lose games of football. He said it with such certainty. And that is not the mentality, especially when you've just had a manager like Ange. That is not the mentality that the players will want to hear, is it? And I think immediately from day one, that mentality was exposed. Now we're hearing all these leaks about the players making fun of him in WhatsApp groups, calling him an obsessive Arsenal fan. A lot of, apparently he was so obsessed with Arsenal behind the scenes, calling him such a great team, and the players were sick of hearing it. When you hear some of this stuff, what does that tell you about what was happening behind the scenes?
Well, yeah, and this was actually Ange Postecoglou's biggest quality. I think Ange was a bit of a waffler, and I thought that he contradicted himself all the time. But you know what? His messaging was, we're going to win a trophy. We're going to do it. I believe you, squad of players, can win a trophy. I believe I can help you win the trophy. We're going to do it. And from day one, when Ange came in, he banged the drum about winning that trophy, and he stayed consistent with it. He was inconsistent with a lot of other things, but he was very consistent with that messaging. And I don't believe that you know, for example, wanting to beat Man City, knowing that that would give Arsenal the league, he wasn't having it. No, win, 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 win. So I felt, I'm not here to compare the two, but I just want to state that that's positive messaging, and then compare that to Frank's. It was a very honest but yet negative way of doing it. And football players don't want to hear that. Footballers want to be told that they're good. They want to be told they're going to win something. They want to be told that they're better than what they are, which is what Harry Redknapp was good at doing. They want to be told that they have every right to win a trophy, and the club they're playing for should be winning trophies, and they're at the right club to win trophies, and this is the club you should look at. Don't look at all the other clubs, look at us, because we can do it. I don't care what they do, because we're going to do it. We're going to do better. And I felt that's the way And went about it, and Frank was the opposite. He was just he wasn't negative, but his honesty and it's like I said to you last night, Sid. I felt he tried too hard. I've always felt Frank was trying too hard in the job, and he never just settled. He never just relaxed himself and said, you know what? Let me do what I do. Let me do the things I did at Brentford, and if I've got injuries, so be it. I'm going to stick to what I know, because that's why they brought me in here, and we're going to do that. But he kept chopping and changing, trying to find a way, trying to get a win, so to speak. And I think he confused himself, he confused the players. And in the end, like last night, Sim, has anyone got any idea what football we play? Has anyone got a clue what is it we're trying to do? And I don't think Frank knew anymore. I think Heitinger came in to help Frank figure a way, and I think the players didn't know anymore either. 1 minute we're pressing, next minute we're not. 1 minute we're attacking, then we're sitting back. 1 minute we want to try and keep the ball, the other minute we're just giving it away for fun. Are we counter-attacking? Are we possession-based? Are we low block, mid block, high block? I never ever understood what Frank was trying to do. I thought after the Man City game, when we beat them 2-0, I thought, right, this is what he wants. A very compact, narrowly squeezed mid-block with a high press, and when we do win the ball, the mid-block squeezes in to create confusion, to create mistakes and score goals. I thought, right, I kind of get it. But I think I saw it twice all season. So that's not what he tried to do then. So, I mean, do you guys know what he tried to do? Did you guys kind of...
I think to get the ball out wide and spam crosses in. That seemed like his only plan.
Well, still, it seemed as though the players, according to reports, struggled with what his plan was, because there's a report here saying from day one there was a feeling within the squad that Frank played too much emphasis on the opposition in training. A source says most of the work was on what to do out of possession and how to nullify the opposition, rather than working on how they can hurt opponents. And also there was some other reports saying he lacked an in-game model and a plan A, more about adapting to what the opposition are going to do. So if that's your game model, then you're going to look a bit clueless on the ball, because everything you're doing is focusing on how can we counteract what the opposition are doing, not how can we impose ourselves on the opposition. And that's maybe why we saw us coming out clueless in first halves and then a bit better in second halves.
And obviously if the opposition change by any stretch of the imagination, then your whole game plan's out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I was trying to say to fans. You look at Michael Carrick, he's got into Manchester United. And look at the 1-2 touch football they play. It's exciting, it's on point, it's changed the dynamics of the club. They're now talking about finishing third in the league. This is a team that finished one place above us last season. Yes, they've bought some good players, but those players were misfiring under Amorim. Under a different manager, Man United look a mess. They came to White Hart Lane, they're lucky. They're lucky they got a draw against us. We should have clobbered them. So Carrick goes in, and he changes the formation. He puts Kobe Minu in midfield, brings back Cunha. He gets them playing 1-2 touch football, a diamond with two triangles sitting on top of each other, rotating from the flanks into the middle. And I'm watching that thinking, that's taken him 9 days. He's got them moving the ball like that in 9 days. And then people will argue, oh, come on, Stel, give it a break. Look at the players they've got. I coached that with under 12s. I had 12-year-old kids playing football like that. I had under 21s playing football like that. I never had superstars. I never had players that were professional, but they could pass and move, play the direction they're facing, and the most skillful
Maybe
players,
you can save us from relegation still.
Listen, I know what I would do with these players, and I know what I would do with this team. But I'm not saving us from relegation, no. Right, we are. I actually feel sorry for the next manager to come in because I don't know if they can save us. But we had to give it a try because one thing I do know is under Thomas Frank, we were getting relegated. There was no doubt in my mind, you know. Sim, you heard what I had to say last night. There was no way in my mind I could pick more than one game that I thought we were going to win under Frank. There's no way we would have won another game. Maybe one at best. So we had to change manager in hope that he can get us 3 or 4 wins. By the way, there's no guarantee the next guy is going to win 3 or 4 games, by the way. There's no guarantee of that. We are far from safe. But if we didn't try, 100% Frank was going to relegate us because it had gone too far. It had gone way too far. And, you know, a coach can very quickly set their blueprint on a team, even if the players aren't that great. Whether they win games is one thing, but you can definitely change the style of play. And I think we've seen this season enough games where when we are more adventurous, where we are more braver, where we do take a bit more risk, we actually cause a lot of problems for our opponents. Our difficulty is always going to be putting the ball in the back of the net because we don't have Harry Kane, we don't have Son, we don't have these superstars. But if you create enough pressure and you create enough chances, there's a high chance that you do put the ball in the back of the net, as opposed to sitting back and letting the other team pummel you, which pretty much says the other team's going to score a goal, you know, stating the obvious. So, yeah, you know, I've seen managers do better with less. You know, Keith Andrews at Brentford, he's doing a fantastic job, like really, really good job. Is it because the pressure's less? Is it because there's more harmony at the club, or is it because actually he's a very, very good manager? You know, so I don't think Frank's a crap manager, but I don't think he was ready for a Big Six club. And guys, I never wanted him in the first place. I never wanted him because I just thought you've gone from a winner who's given you a trophy, who we all blasted, well I did, for the injuries. We should have given him the start of the season. Instead, we brought in a manager who's won nothing in 14 years. He's never achieved anything great in the game, far from it. And we're saying, yeah, you build on that. That was the wrong building block, and clearly it was, because look how bad it is. I do feel sorry for him though regarding the injuries. I think Frank needs to be given, you know, a fair bit amount of breathing space with the injuries, but so did Ange. And Ange never got that. Ange never once got breathing space. And I have to say, the media treated them differently. The media crucified Ange when he had injuries. I crucified Ange when he had injuries. Most YouTubers crucified Ange when he had injuries. So we can't now suddenly say, oh, because Frank's here, he gets treated differently. Big up, Danny. I don't know why, guys. All I can see is Danny's face from the whole screen.
Oh, I don't know. We'll get to Danny.
Right, okay.
We'll get to Danny. Just be quiet for a bit, Danny.
No, I like Danny. Big up to Danny. Good to hear his voice. I haven't heard from him in a while. But we had to change coach. It had to happen because there's no way Frank was going to turn it around, guys. Not a chance in hell. Never. It had gone far too deep. Even now, I'm deeply, deeply concerned whether the next manager can turn it around. But I didn't want Frank to be given the chance to turn it around.
Regardless who the manager is still, it's very likely by next game week we could be 2 points above the relegation zone. If West Ham beat Bournemouth at home and we lose to Arsenal, then that's 2 points.
Yeah, and this is why we should have sacked Frank ages ago. You know, yeah. For me, there was 3 or 4 markers where he should have gone. But you know what, guys? I heard I forgot her name, the last caller that came
Sarah.
up. She's Sarah, yeah, big up to Sarah. Good to see her again. I don't trust this ownership to get the next appointment right.
Correct.
I don't trust this ownership to back the next manager. I don't trust Lange or Vinay whatsoever now, because for me, it was either you stick with your guy to the end and back your chat, or all this talk that you've given us was an absolute load of nonsense. You bullshitted us again. And for me, Vinay and Lange are bullshitters. Absolute corporate, nod your head, yes men bullshitters. They've got to go. Vinay and Lange have got to go. We need a proper chairman. We need a proper head of recruitment. And we need, most probably, a new ownership. Because they're going to do it again, guys. They will continue doing this time and time and time again. They don't get it. This was their big chance to show us fans, right, Levy's gone. We are now going to show you how it should be done. And it's actually got worse. They've somehow managed to make it worse.
What's your gut telling you about who we're replacing Frank with right now in the immediate term?
I think they're going to bring in an interim, and then they're going to try and get Poch back in the summer. I think that's going to be their plan. They're going to try and bring in some kind of temporary plaster over the cracks. Pray to God that it doesn't crack wide open and we fall into the crack of the Championship. It's going to be a hit and hope, but I don't see them appointing the next manager for next season now, because what idiot that is serious about a long-term job comes and takes over now? You've got to be out of your mind if you're going to be the long-term coach to come in now, because you're setting yourself up for fail from day one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any idea who that interim would be? Do you think Heitinger seems to be the favourite?
I really don't want Heitinger, guys. I really don't want Heitinger. Honestly, it's going to be no different with him. Believe you me. He's maybe as a number two, maybe as someone that helps with set pieces, fine. But a manager, he was a disaster at Ajax. Absolute disaster.
But he did have a successful. He had a successful interim role at Ajax, though.
Did he?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
He was awful when he was in the academy as well.
He, we just went through his interim role. I think he played. How many games did he play?
I think he 22 games, won 14.
Yeah.
As interim manager.
We need a manager that knows about survival. We need a manager that knows how to turn around a disaster and just get it above water so we can breathe.
Who is that manager though? Rafa Benitez.
But basically, guys, what we need is a bounce. We need a 3-4 game bounce. Someone that's going to come in and just grab 3 or 4 wins. Heitinger is the face, partly, of the failed process. He came in and we went on the worst losing streak. So nothing changed. But people got excited because we attacked a bit more, because we were a little bit more adventurous. We lost. We kept losing. Nothing changed. He's part of that. It's like when the manager fails, so you give it to Ryan Mason. He's part of it. Nothing's going to change because Ryan Mason was part of the previous failures that he was coaching. So we need a complete new face, a new voice, a new coaching method, and a new way of talking to the players just for a couple of months. I don't know who that is. I would say bring in Redknapp and Teddy Sheringham as a double act, or bring in Redknapp and Tim Sherwood as a double act. Because Redknapp will put his arm around the players, show them love, tell them they're the best thing since sliced bread. And Sherwood will be the one that gives them a kick up the arse when they need it. So maybe that yin and yang might be the answer. But to bring in someone who's already part of the coaching team, I just don't see how anything changes when you've got that same participant of the failed process that we've just witnessed for the best part of 7 months. I wouldn't bring back Ange as well, by the way. I wanted Ange to stay, but I wouldn't bring him back to this mess. I wouldn't. We need a complete fresh face that these players are going to fall into line with, and just for a short period of time, just maybe stand to attention and listen. All right.
Yeah.
Different people here now. Let's just be on our guard for a couple of months and be on our best behaviour until we can win enough games to stay up, and then all right, go back to your old ways, do what you're going to do, players, and then in the summer pray to God that we get the right manager, and this ownership will back that manager, who I don't think they are going to back, by the way. I think whilst Vinay's chairman handing out Arsenal cups to Frank, and whilst Lange is here talking absolute shit to the fans on YouTube and taking the mick in the transfer window. I don't see how we progress with these two guys. I really don't. I mean, do you have faith in United and Lange?
No, not at all. But people in the comments are suggesting Roy Keane.
Is he what, as a manager?
Interim, yeah.
Is he actually a good manager though?
I mean, he hasn't been a manager for years. He was at Sunderland for a bit. He was at Ireland for a bit.
But was he good?
Not particularly.
He had one good season with Sunderland where he got them promoted and then started being bad.
He's a good pundit. He talks a lot of sense and he likes a good scrap on the TV. And he's
Tottenham fan as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's great if you want to create YouTube shorts. You know, brilliant. Bring him in. Put him in the media department. But no, we need someone that's going to be able... Listen, even if Sam Allardyce comes in and just grabs 3 wins, who cares? We're not winning a trophy this year. We're not getting into Europe. Our number one and only objective now is survive. That's the reality, guys. You know, we're not winning the Champions League. We're out of all the other cups. There's no way we're finishing in Europe. No chance. The best we can hope... On top of all the injuries we've got as well, Odebert's out now for the season. So really, the manager that comes in has got one job and one job only. Avoid relegation. You have got to win 3 to 4 games. Win those games and keep the club up. That's the only target he's got. And that's the whole focus of what he needs to focus on and what the messaging is to the players. Guys, we've got to stay up. We are fighting for our lives. Every game is a cup final. It's survival now. Wake up. This is the reality. It's happened. It's fine. You're good enough to get out of it. I'm going to help you. Together, we are good enough to stay up. Let's do it. That's the guy that needs to come in. That's the guy that we need to bring in. And if it's Sam Allardyce, so be it. Who cares? You've just got to stay up. Because if we get relegated, the catastrophic consequences of a club in our debt going down, guys, it's going to be unthinkable what this club looks like. So,
well, what do you say to some fans who say, Frank, you know, as much as he's a problem, these players are just simply not good enough. No one is going to get more than Frank out of the current squad. We don't have enough goals in this team to get any more than what we're currently doing. And it doesn't matter who the next manager is, it's going to be the same thing.
Right. These players are better than sitting back for 70 minutes and defending whilst Newcastle, who haven't won in God knows how long, just come at us.
Seems like you're asking Stells to pick the Danny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we are better than that, right? Listen, Danny's been schooled all year long now, so he's
well, that's what he's going to say.
Done.
Oi, it's Danny, just calm down, Danny, calm down.
Right. Of course, we don't score many goals because we don't attack enough. Like I said to you, we don't have Kane and Son. I get it, I accept that. But if you attack enough and you cause enough pressure, you cause enough problems, the opposition are more likely to make mistakes. The opposition are more likely to let a goal in as opposed to us not attacking much and them not letting goals in because we don't. That
still Leeds prove that on a week-to-week basis.
I know, Ben. I've been saying this for months. I've been arguing with the Dannies, with the Scott M's, with everyone and anyone that the way we play facilitates more losses than tries to create more wins. There's no guarantee we will win more games, right? I want to make that clear. There's no guarantee we will win more games. But unless you try to win more games by being more attacking, you're not going to win more games. We could have 20 shots and score 1 goal. So if you take 10 shots, by that metric, we score none. So you need to overload the attacking strategy of the team in order to try and win more games, to create more, to score more. I'm sure Odebert, these players, who knows, Solanke, they might miss a lot of chances. But if you keep giving them, something will land, something will drop. And for me, if we were more like that, I don't think we'd be in the top 6. But I can talk to you right now about 4 games this season. If we were more attacking, I think we would have had between 9 to 12 more points. And this isn't even a conversation. This isn't even a conversation anymore about relegation. It's those games where this mentality has cost us, this pragmatic approach. And we've proven this year that we can attack. Why is it whenever we go down, suddenly we can attack? And we put teams on the back foot and they're under pressure and they actually look vulnerable and we score goals. We did it against Fulham, we did it against Aston Villa, we did it against Brighton, we did it yesterday against
Newcastle.
We
City.
did it against Man City, we did it against Liverpool. How many times have I seen Tottenham surrender the game, go 1-0 down, 2-0 down, and then suddenly here comes the Alamo. Here comes all the frontline soldiers, attack, and the other team crumble. They wobble. They're all over the shop. So I'm thinking, why can't you start the game like that and be more like that early on, rather than wait until we're losing and then, all right, let's be more attacking. We've seen it too often this season that we can attack more, and actually, when we do attack more, the opposition is shocked at the intensity that we can play at. And they become a mess. We cause problems. We score goals. Newcastle away, we went down. Not in the amount of games this season we've gone down, and then suddenly we just become a more attacking team. It's not coincidence. It's not a one-off. It happens on a regular basis. So this is why I don't believe the players aren't good enough can be a viable excuse, because we've seen otherwise. We can be inconsistent, yes. We can be inconsistent, I agree. But to not be on the front foot more, I personally can't accept that, because I've seen different. I've seen much different from Spurs this year. And that's why, in the end, that's probably why Frank's been sacked. That has cost him his job, I think.
All right, Stel. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Let's pray that the next conversation we have is still a Premier League conversation and not Oxford United away.
Well, don't worry. We've got the North London derby coming up next, so I think we'll speak before then. But big up to you, Stel.
Yeah.
Big up, Stel.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Good to see you, mate.
You too, mate.